Portland, Oregon, welcome to the swimming pool. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, buckle up, strap in. We got a hard-hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows, no sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. So Portland, Oregon, today we're going to take a field trip over and take a look at an active listing. Why, you ask? Well, of course I'm going to tell you, because if we lose the U.S. housing market, we lose everything. The U.S. housing market is, in fact, the biggest asset class in the world. And everybody piled into the biggest bubble ever witnessed in human history. And I'm a real estate agent, and I'm here calling it for what it is. This is a real estate bubble, and there's a lot of agents out there that told you this time is different, no crash risk here, blah, 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 blah. And I just could not stomach it. Now, I've worked and owned and operated real estate for over 25 years. So take it for whatever it's worth. I'm a guy on the internet, but we're forecasting the U.S. housing market because, like I said, friends, if we lose it, we will lose everything. We will be thrusted into a deep cycle recession, and make no mistake about it. It's knocking at the door as we speak. And most of us, like I said, if you're new, get subscribed. Get centered and surrounded with like-minded people where iron can sharpen iron. We're going to sharpen some iron today, friends, because it's time to be forward-thinking, critical thinking, being ahead of the curve. The first step of getting past a problem, admit there's a problem. We had a big problem when we overheated the leadership, but I was part of that because I was an essential worker. And I said, man, somebody needs to put the brakes on this thing. We're letting the biggest asset class in the world become a runaway train. It's left the station. It's off the rails. It's a two-headed monster. It's out of its cage. We have a runaway inflation in a risen interest rate environment. These are all recipes for potential disaster. But oh, how the people piled into this one. Unlike anything I've ever seen in my life. And I've always said, especially representing buyers and sellers as a realtor, I don't even want you paying asking price, much less over asking price. Today we're going to take a look at a property that did exactly that. Somebody went over asking price and started running for the exits, and it's just a falling knife that continues to be caught by others. This thing is really got a lot of issues. So stick around to the end, because I'm going to give hopefully my temperature check on not only what happened, what it's like now, but more importantly, where we're going. Where is there safety in this mess? And if we're going to shop in this environment, how do we do it? But the biggest thing, I like to take a look at listings because I do it with kind of a skewed lens, so to speak. I like to read between the lines and look between the cracks. Most people are browsing pictures and prices. That's it. No, you have to look much, much deeper than that. So, like I said, if you're new, get subscribed. I would absolutely love to have you. I'm helping a lot of you with your real estate needs right now. It's been my absolute honor and pleasure to do it. But I just really love what I do. And I always say, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And I would do what I'm doing right now for free. And many times I do. I'm just in a position now where I can do that. Now, most new agents are in worse shape than their clients. They're in big, big trouble. They drank the Kool-Aid. A lot of Kool-Aid drinking agents out there. And I know you see them all over social media. I know you're seeing them because I'm seeing them too. I always say, I'm a real estate agent. And I don't even like real estate agents. I mean, that's where it's gone to. It's just, it's almost comical. But this is really no laughing matter because the reality is, friends, we have corrections, recessions, and depressions throughout recorded history. It's not if, it's always been when. And we're, in fact, in the depression cycle, and we just provided the perfect catalyst to deliver it. Now, will there be government intervention? Of course. Will it work? Probably not. We've tried it in the past. It didn't save the day. So, buckle up and strap in. Like I said, hope for the best, prepare for the worst, maybe come out somewhere in the middle. I'm not cheering for a crash. I'll take a hit. I will take a hit if there's another crash. And I lived through 2008 as a bill-paying adult and suffered some of its blowback, which is why I'm really here today and qualified to speak to you in the way I'm speaking to you. A lot of the channels you're watching, they might be chasing data, but you can throw the playbook out the window. That data's not going to save you. This time will be different. There's always a different catalyst. And this one could come like a thief in the night. It will blindside millions and millions of Americans because they just don't have the firsthand experience needed to really understand the waters we're now swimming in. So, without further ado, let's jump over to Portland, Oregon. Take a look at a listing, then we'll meet back here and wrap it up. Let's get started. All right, friends, buckle up, strap in, roll up your windows, lock your doors. We're heading down to Portland, Oregon. Unfortunately, it's not all rainbows and sunshine for the city or their real estate. Let's jump over to a recent listing and take a look. Now let's bring up our crash map, courtesy of our good fuzzy friends and failed iBuyers over at Zillow. Everything on your screen is going through the kiss of death, price reductions. Let's go ahead and tour today's property. A beautiful home, but unfortunately, it found itself stuck on the market, and you guessed it, chasing the market. Our owner wants out, and they're now resorting to price cuts to get it done. Unfortunately, nobody's pulling the trigger. They're now chasing the market. Let's go ahead and get into some of its details. Okay, as we can see here, we're stuck on the market at approximately $1.1 million for this 4-bedroom, 4-bath, approximately 4,000 square foot house with no takers yet. Let's go ahead and dig a little deeper. Next up, our property description. Let's read between the lines and look between the cracks. This 1965 Bride Mill Traditional is situated on a picture-perfect corner lot in a peaceful cul-de-sac. And then it goes on writing us a novel. You only have a few moments to capture the imagination of would-be buyers. Making them read a novel is never a good sign. Let's look a little further. Now let's see how much interest our property is getting. As we can see here, it's been stuck on the market after their latest price reduction for almost 3 months with a meager 37 saves. That's not a lot of interest, folks. Something you always want to pay attention to as we might be formulating an offer for the property. Let's go ahead and look into some of its price history. Oh, it gets better or worse depending on how you look at it. This property was originally listed at approximately $1.1 million in 2022, got itself into a bidding war and sold for $1.3. Then that owner sold it at a loss at $1.1, and the new owner grabbed it, and now they're trying to get out of it for around the same price. Unfortunately, they are probably going to lose money just like the people they bought it from. This thing is, in fact, a falling knife. Let's get back to the studio so we can wrap this one up. All right, friends, welcome back. And there you go. So Portland, Oregon, welcome to the swimming pool. And here's the scary thing. This is the thing, friends. This is a very interesting dynamic, unlike anything I've ever seen in my lifetime. Like, this is really kind of scary on one hand, right? But hopefully, if you halfway expect this thing, you'll be able to operate within it much more efficiently. It's the people that have no idea what we're talking about, or they're just in pure denial. Pure denial. Most agents will be in pure denial. Where I'm sitting today, I can still get, if I come on the market at it's priced right. Now, I don't come on the market too high, just right in the sweet spot. Maybe within 30 days, I'll get an offer and it'll get accepted. We're talking 3 hours during the bubble. Stuff was going off the market over asking price. And that's what happened to the property we looked at today. Somebody paid over asking price. Then a year later, they couldn't swing it anymore, or they saw the writing on the wall, because Portland's got a lot of systemic problems, right? A lot of these big metropolitan areas have a lot of, I will just call it systemic. I got to stay in my lane, because it's really, here on YouTube, you got to be careful. Choose your words very carefully. You get basically restricted on your reach, or just completely flagged and shut down. So you get what I'm saying. We've got a lot of issues in these big cities because leadership is just dropping the ball in a big way. I mean, there's a lot of issues. I always say this is economic. Like in 2008, it was pretty much economics, financial crisis. We have social and a political crisis going on too. And then throw in an economic crisis. I mean, we got the perfect storm. In Portland, Oregon, I remember being in Portland just right before lockdowns. Right before I was traveling, I stopped off in Portland for lunch. And even back then, it was like, it's a little sketchy around here, right? It's an interesting kind of beatnik type of a town. But it was a cool town. Like, it was cool. It was kind of cool. There's nothing cool about it anymore. I mean, it's just not safe really anymore. They've got a lot of issues. And with this social outcry to just help everybody that needs help with the handouts. it's inviting more of the problem. They're putting fuel on that social fire. And people in Portland, probably the seller wants out. And when you get into the $1 million district, your buyer pool is shrinking now. So when you're looking at these properties, and now the current buyer who caught a falling knife, they paid more for it. Now they're selling it. They're not even going to break even because the things now, they'll be lucky if they're not going to get $1 million for that. I guarantee if I'm not riding on the house, it's not $1 million. It's not they're stuck on the market price. I already see they're stuck on the market with very little interest. Do you think I'm going to come in and let you overpay or even give them asking? No, not even close. Not even close. So this property's got a bunch of issues for it, and this is throw a dart at a map and you're going to hit another property doing the exact same thing. So it's very important you get in the hands of a good real estate agent that's at least speaking the language, right? Because most of them, I talk to them all over the country for you guys, all over. Because I always say, my job is to put you in the hands of the highest rated agent in your area. And that's what I do. And I talk to these agents first. And I let them know, hey, things are a-changing. Yeah, Scott.
Stuff's still going off the market pretty quick here. We don't have a lot of inventory.
Buckle up and strap in. Where I'm sitting today, like I said, I can get stuff off the market pretty quick here too. But I'm seeing the shift happen. And people are really now starting to wake up and smell the coffee. Here's where the safety lies. Now, here on the West Coast, we're just seeing price reductions and days on market spike. The East Coast somehow is sustaining itself. But if we get into it, we're in a correction phase, even in the East Coast. If we get into recessionary times, they're going to take a hit. If we get into a depressionary level of a downturn, the East Coast, buckle up and strap in. You will not weather that storm. You might not take the haircut the Vegases, the Phoenixes, and the Portlands, and the Seattles, and a lot of these West Coast cities will because they had skyrocketing prices way up above $1 million or wherever the case may be. If you want to know where the safety truly lies, whether you're buying on the West Coast, the Midwest, the East Coast, wherever you happen to be, if you're shopping within listen up, the median home price average. That's where safety lies because affordable properties will always be in demand. There's a few places, like I said, I strongly urge you get your agent now and you start kicking tires, shaking trees, and writing offers, even if they don't stick. So you're in the game and you're comfortable playing in this climate. Most people are paralyzed on the sidelines, stuck forever. They will never get off the fence. 90% of people will stay on the sidelines. You're never going to time the bottom of this crash, but you can time the top. I will look at properties and say, and Zillow, of course, will not show this anymore, which is really ridiculous. And I know why they're not. They used to make it really easy. That listing would have showed its rent range right there in black and white. Here's what the property rents for. Then it would give you, if you buy it, here's your estimated cost to own. It doesn't give you those two numbers anymore. Why? Because they don't want you to see it if it doesn't pencil out. Why? Because they don't want to limit themselves to sell leads. They sell leads to realtors. Anybody who collects a request for information or a tour has to pay for that. I get calls all the time from Zillow. Hey, Scott, we got a bunch of buyers. No, you don't. It's crickets out there. Loan applications that are at an all-time never seen before low. Have you not watched the news? We are in an inflationary war. U.S. savings rate is at an all-time never seen before low, and U.S. debt is at an all-time never seen before high. We are at the tipping point. So now it becomes because listen, there's a good chance you will not be able to buy real estate moving forward. It's going to be owned either by leadership or Wall Street. It's going to be handed down from generation to generation. You just inherit property. But pretty soon you'll live in a 15-minute city and you will own nothing but be happy. Those times are knocking at the door, clearly. Now, most people are probably maybe even be switching the channel right now. They're like, oh, no, that's fine. I don't know about that. Believe it. Believe it. Bet your bottom dollar on it. It's not if, it's purely when. Our job is to make sure that time doesn't come through this crisis. Because make no mistake about it, friends, if it's not for the crisis, we're not talking today. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a real estate guy who wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understand the waters you're swimming in now. Shark infested. Portland, Oregon. Welcome to the swimming pool. We just exposed a property today. It's not looking good there, Portland. Your properties are reversing course. And guess what? Real estate is local. It migrates around. If your area is still managing to flatline and stay above water, buckle up and strap in. It's not if, it's when. Some areas will be the last to get hit, maybe the first to rebound. Everybody takes a hit in a deep cycle recession, and clearly one is knocking at the door. And that's why I'll be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way. Because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to contact me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network, top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It would be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well. Also, if you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, gonna love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.